both children having the same disease, trying to fight for it, trying to create a vision for them.
Hi everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Glam Reaper Podcast. I'm your host, Jennifer Muldowney, aka the Glam Reaper. And once again, this week we are in the wild. Who lets me out? On this week's episode, I talked to Jeff Holcomb of Continuing Vision. We hear the story behind Continuing Vision, why it's called Continuing Vision, and also we launch officially a partnership between he and I, which I'm very, very excited about as it is one close to my heart. So tune in at the end and we'll give you some more details. Here we go. Hi everybody, and welcome to, this is the New Jersey State Funeral Directors Convention, their annual convention, and I'm here with Jeff of Continuing Vision. Jeff, welcome.
Good afternoon, Jennifer. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Thank you for being part of this presentation we have going at the convention.
Absolutely. No, I'm delighted to be here. There's been a buzz already, and we've had loads of people inquiring about the continuing education, which has been great. We at the Glam Reaper Podcast and with Muldowney Memorials are big fans of continuing education. But I wanted very much to get this on camera today, Jeff, because I want to hear the personal story you have behind Continuing Vision. Okay. How did it start?
Well, I started Continuing Vision in 2006 because as a funeral director, I couldn't get to these conventions. The bosses come, the managers come, they leave you at the funeral home to carry on the day-to-day operations. So it was hard for me and for others like me to gain your continuing education, and you needed that to renew your license. So I had a thought about developing a company that I would provide continuing education credits for funeral professionals in a setting where it was convenient for them, that they could get, it was 5 minutes from the house. It was here in New York City, was in the different boroughs, 5 boroughs, move it around and make it convenient, make it at times when it was accessible to everybody.
Yeah, no, and it's, even I've noticed, as I've always said, and most people who are listening to the podcast know, I'm not a licensed funeral director. So getting that education to people who can't afford to come to the national conventions or can't afford the time off, or the bosses go and you're left doing sort of the work at the funeral home. It's so important to get that extra education and keep us educated. Like I'm always spouting on, none of us are perfect, and we can all be learning from people who, I think even somebody said it earlier today, whether you're 5 minutes in the business or 50 years in this business, you can still learn something from each of those people, right?
Yes, and I always, at every presentation, I make one statement that after the 6 hours, because we normally do a 6-hour day, if you come away with one thing, the day has been worthwhile.
Yeah.
One thing that you can take back to the funeral home and put into action. I mean, it could change the operation of your funeral home.
Yeah, completely. And it can be the smallest thing can change it irrevocably. Now, there is a personal side to the story and how Continuing Vision, you wanted it to be your legacy. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I had a son, Brian. He became a funeral director. He wanted to follow in Dad's footsteps. And unfortunately, in 2022, he passed away from cancer. This was supposed to be something for him to carry on. A lot of what's happening now with Continuing Vision, with the new programs and the new outlook, is in his memory, to keep his memory alive, but to also for all the new generation of funeral directors coming into the business, to take their enthusiasm, their want to be in this business, because he really wanted to be in this business, to take that and nurture it and make sure that it's a safe place for them, and some place that they can actually fulfill their dreams, being a funeral professional.
Yeah, and I will come back to that in a second, because I want to talk about what you're kind of launching here today, but equally behind the name Continuing Vision, tell us a little bit about that, because I think it's a beautiful...
Thank you. Continuing, the first part is for the education part. The vision is because both my children were born with a congenital hereditary disease affecting the corneas of their eyes. They both needed transplants. My son, God bless him, he had 2 transplants, one right after he graduated from grammar school, and my daughter had absolutely rejected everyone. She had 13
Wow.
and she now has a prosthetic cornea. So, I mean, it was always continuing the vision to fight to get them their vision.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we fought hard with that.
Yeah, and continuing education, continuing vision, so it just all ties in really, really
Correct,
well.
yeah.
And I think, I mean, I know that's why I'm partnering with you. It's not just you're a very good man, you can tell, but it's just the story behind it, like everything. As a celebrant, as a funeral director, as a memorial planner for me, it's all about telling the story of the deceased. It's about, you know, what was their legacy, what are they leaving behind, and storytelling is just so important.
Mm-hmm.
So I think sharing your story is super important because people buy into it.
Thank you, Jennifer.
You know? Yeah.
You know, it was hard for our family. I mean, both children having the same disease, trying to fight for it, trying to create a vision for them, you know, that they could see. And this is how the name Continuing Vision became a reality. And, you know, it's through a lot of family support and, you know, long hours as a funeral professional and trying to make this work and trying to help the next generation realize that this is not only a job, it's a vocation.
Yeah, very much so. Very, very much so. And so tell us about what you're launching today, the mentorship program, because I think that's super important.
All right.
For any interns out there, or even, you don't have to be interns, right?
Nope. We decided to, well, I had this thought in my head after Brian passed, because I missed the phone calls from him. You know, he would call after work, Dad, this happened, that happened. Did I do the right thing? And you would try to, you know, comfort him that, yeah, you did perfect, Brian, you did okay. You know, and maybe some days I wasn't so complimentary. You know, you should have done this, you should have done that.
Nobody's perfect.
But it was a safe place to make that conversation. So my thought was to develop a mentoring program, and with the help of a young professional funeral director, Regan Moreland, who I shared the idea. She has developed my website. She took it on as her project also, and just the first week in September, we launched the mentoring program. We have seasoned professional, we have funeral educators, seasoned funeral professionals as the mentors. They've been teamed up with mentees, funeral students who are in mortuary school, residents or interns, and licensed funeral directors. As long as you've only been licensed 5 years, you can join the program, and it's free of charge. It's something it's not available in the industry, I don't think, in any other place.
Yeah, no, I think it's super important. And even like today, we've talked to both seasoned professionals and folks that are choosing their school, but also then interns that are doing their residency or whatever. And it's just linking people up in that way is just super important, because as a few people said today, that like they felt like they were just thrown in to the deep end, you know, and have the wisdom of somebody seasoned to kind of guide you through that. And I think having somebody seasoned who has the experience but isn't in the home working side by side with you, it can give you a different perspective, because you could be frustrated with your boss one day and react badly, and you know, you pick up the phone to your mentor and you think you're super right about what, because you're just steam is coming out your ears, but your mentor could be like, yeah, but maybe see it from his point of view or her point of view, and maybe look at it this way. Suddenly you're talked down off the ledge. So
it's we want it to be a safe place for these young people, that there's no judgment, you know, because sometimes you might feel uncomfortable talking to your boss about something, because he might tell you know, how did you do that? Why did you do that? And condescendingly, or you know, get angry at you. But these are impartial, you know, professionals who can guide you through and take you through the steps of, you know, maybe the thoughts, maybe you need to think about it this way and not that way, and just calm down and just take a deep breath in the moment and think about it before you react.
And sometimes the problem is with your superior in the funeral home, like sometimes
Yes.
that, and so you can't go to them
Yes,
if they're not
yes.
your mentor in that
Yeah,
moment.
yes.
So I think it's really, really great. And obviously then you and I are launching the Celebrant program together, which is great. So if anybody is interested in signing up to that, I have previously only offered the Celebrant training to my own celebrants within New York State. So now we are bringing it both online and in person
Yes.
to everywhere where you have the CEs.
Yes, yes. And Jennifer, I want to humbly thank you for coming on board. I mean, I think this is going to be a game changer because I see the need, especially in the tri-state area, for people who want meaningful services but maybe don't have a religious, they might be religious but don't feel it any longer, and they want some kind of service to bring a celebration of life together.
Yep.
And your programs are incredible.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be beneficial to a lot of families.
Yeah, and it's also about working with funeral homes, with funeral directors, training them if that's what they so need, because who doesn't need a bit of extra training? But it's working with everybody and making it cohesive. What we keep talking about today, and has been a general theme with the people I've been socializing with at this conference, is inclusion, diversity, and just making sure everyone's seen and heard. And that's really what it's about, because
Yes.
serving the families at the end of the day.
And ultimately what Continuing Vision I would like to turn it into is a career enrichment platform where you can get the CEs you need, even if you don't need a CE, if there's a specific topic that you're interested in. I'm trying to bring in hands-on training, technical labs and technical courses, so that you can learn new things in a safe and especially inclusive environment.
Yeah.
I do not exclude anybody. Everyone is welcome. There are no extra membership fees. It's the more the merrier.
Yeah.
We welcome everybody.
Absolutely. Well, Jeff, it was a pleasure helping you exhibit at this New Jersey State, and thank you for filling us in on all the good stuff that Continuing Vision is doing. And check out the website. We're going to leave all the links below. Check out Jeff and Continuing Vision, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks so much.
Jennifer, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So that was Jeff's story, and we were sitting in the New Jersey Funeral Directors Annual Convention, which was an incredible convention. It was my first time actually being at it, so it was really good to just see it and meet all the vendors, just see what they do in New Jersey. As we said, we are launching the Certified Celebrant program. Myself and in partnership, Muldowney Memorials, in partnership with Jeff's Continuing Vision, are launching that, and our first course, our first class, starts on November 5th. It is every week for 4 weeks, consecutive weeks, and we can send you some information if you just want to reach out to us. Prices start at $750 for the entire course. Reach out to us and we can send you some further information on that. But otherwise, check out continuingvision.com and check out all of the different seminars that Jeff and his amazing team are putting out for funeral directors. Also, if you're just interested in doing the Celebrant course, the one I'm doing with Continuing Vision is just for funeral directors. But if you're interested in becoming a celebrant anywhere in the world, please reach out, because we are also doing one for non-funeral directors. So we look forward to hearing from you, and we'll see you again next week. I think I'm in the wild again.